Royal Canadian Mounted Police, this is Go Island. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV's Channel 4. Today we're on location in Courtenay at the RCMP detachment, and coming up in the show we are going to have an interview with Inspector Tim Walton. But first we're going to have a look at this from here in the Comox Valley. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV's Channel 4. We're on location today at the Courtenay RCMP detachment. Coming up right after this, an interview with Inspector Tim Walton. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV's Channel 4, and as promised, joining me now is Inspector Tim Walton. Why Inspector? That seems like an odd title.
The RCMP takes their ranks off the old British police system. So there's, you'll see Inspector over there, Chief Inspector, which we don't use, but yeah, we follow the British system.
How interesting. Now, that goes all the way back to the original RCMP when it was first founded.
Yeah, we were actually based on Royal Irish Constabulary, a rural-based police force, not centrally controlled. We're based on them, but yeah, it's yeah, we haven't changed a lot in that respect since then. The ranks still have basically stayed the same.
Now, how many years do you have in?
Just finished 30.
30 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's gone by so quickly. It's gone by so quickly.
You certainly are wearing it well.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, how many times in that 30 years have you moved within Canada?
This is province number 7 for me.
Wow.
So I've had 8 physical moves, 7 provinces or territories. So I've only actually moved once within a territory. Otherwise, I just changed provinces.
So where were some of the places that you were posted?
First posting was Montreal.
Okay.
And then I went to the border, just south of the New York border. And after that, was transferred to Newfoundland. I was up in Conception Bay for a couple of years, and then went to Depot and taught at our academy for 4 years. Then up to the Nunavut, just the year it was created, 1999, and did a couple of spots there. And then went over to Whitehorse, Ottawa headquarters, and then last July I arrived here.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, where's home for you? Based on all that.
Home is where you hang your hat. My dad was in the Navy, so I grew up, if you want to call it that, in Victoria. I left when I was 9. Moved to Germany for 3 years, back with NATO, and then to Kingston, Ontario, and then my dad retired and we moved back to the island.
Oh, okay.
So I've had a few moves.
Now, of all of those places, do you have a favorite?
We'll eliminate Comox right off the bat. It's too easy of a choice. But I really enjoyed the Yukon. Whitehorse was a fantastic spot. Family getting older. That's probably the biggest reason why we left there. But a fantastic city, very vibrant city. Reminds me a lot of here. Same mountains, that type of thing. Lots of stuff to do. Just a few more winter sports than we have here. But every place I've gone, there's been something about it that I've taken away. Newfoundland was probably my biggest, I guess, surprise of all the spots I went. Not knowing anything about it, never been there in my life, and arrived there and got married a couple months later, and it was a big change, but very, very friendly people, and great place.
Now, did you learn something different with each posting, or was there one posting that taught you the most important thing of your career?
No, I've learned something in every spot, and you could say that a lot of spots have been the minority. Moving from BC to Montreal, being an Anglophone in Montreal, and then going to Newfoundland and being called a come from away, right?
Yeah.
But no, I've learned, and then goes up north when you have to find a translator sometimes to deal with some of the older Inuit people.
Yes.
But no, I've learned something from every spot I've been.
Awesome. All right, well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will learn a bit more about modern policing. We'll be right back. Stay right where you are. Welcome back. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. Still with me, Inspector Tim Walton here at the RCMP detachment in Courtenay. Now, in the 30 years that you've been serving, how have you seen policing change from 30 years ago to 2015?
I guess the shortest answer I'd give you is everything takes a lot longer than it used to. The public has demanded more accountability, which is a good thing because we can always improve. But the paperwork has never ceased, even switching to computers. It hasn't really shortened anything. But the amount of justification, the amount of paperwork that's involved to bring anything, just simple investigation or something going to court, has taken a lot longer. There's been several studies on it, some of which are coming out of BC here. And it proves kind of what we thought. Something that might have taken an hour 30 years ago takes 4 or 5 hours now.
Wow,
so it's,
that's quite a difference.
Yeah. It is. In the old days, not a lot of writing in files necessarily, and your word was good enough, and now it's where's the pictures, where's the recordings, that kind of thing. So everything takes a lot longer than it used to.
Now, has the age of technology and the explosion of social media, is that hampering or helping?
Both. Okay. We've seen enough examples out there, I think, where the police have actually had to tell people to stop sending pictures from, crime scenes. Yes. It puts the public and police in danger, but also it allows us to get our message out a lot sooner. The availability to have an instant message just saying Highway 19 is blocked is fantastic for us, rather than have to go through a press release and the traditional methods. But the old days, we would look in notebooks for information when we're searching somebody or searching a residence. Nowadays, we're looking in smartphones and computers. Same information, just held differently.
Now, has that meant that there's a whole other level of training that has to happen for all of your officers so that they have some technology expertise?
I think in general, our employees here learn it just as my 17-year-old teenage daughter learns it themselves. We have specific training to deal with specific issues, such as downloading information from computers. We have specialists in that. Okay. The average cop on the street wouldn't be doing that.
Right.
So it depends on the complexity of the file.
Looking across Canada and comparing that to the United States and all of the police actions that we've seen over the last 6 to 8 months, how would you say that Canada has evolved in ways that the U.S. hasn't seemed to have evolved?
I've never policed in the States. I've policed along the border, and it's tough to comment on what's happening down there now. But I think the police in Canada have evolved from when I first started, where we thought we knew everything, to a point where we involved the community more. We called it community policing back then. Asked the community what their priorities were, what the issues were, and also involve the community in solutions. Rather than dictate how we're going to solve this, it's how do you think we can solve this? How do you think we can help you to a scenario? That evolved into crime reduction, and this detachment was one of the pilot projects for crime reduction in Canada in about 2006, 2007. And that takes looks at a smaller group of people with, I guess, more in focus. The old expression that a small amount of people cause you, proportionally a lot more harm. That's crime reduction in a nutshell.
Wow, that's awesome. It's nice to see that evolution, right, from where it was 30 years ago to where it is today.
Yeah, and I don't know where it's going, but it's sure it's going to change. I've got 6 more years to go, and I'm sure it will not be the same in 6 years as it is today.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
You're
really
welcome.
Appreciate you making time for us,
You're
because I
welcome.
know that you're in great demand. All right. Thanks so much for watching. We're going to take a short break, but stay right where you are. Go Island is on location today at the RCMP detachment here in Courtenay. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. Earlier we had a chance to speak with Inspector Tim Walton about the differences in policing from 30 years ago when he first started his career to now in 2015. Pretty extraordinary differences, but policing all the same. And I personally like how it has evolved into community-based policing and crime reduction. I think in Canada, we're doing the right thing. That's pretty cool. All right, have a look at this story. We'll be right back. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. Thanks so much for watching Go Island today. Very interesting interview with Inspector Tim Walton. If you didn't catch it live, you can watch it on YouTube. Go to our channel, Shaw TV North Island, all one word. And be sure to follow us on Twitter and go to our Facebook and like it, please. And then you'll get all the postings that we put out regularly about the WHL, about the stories we do, about where our locations are for our shows, and about volunteer opportunities. If you would like to volunteer for Shaw, we would like to have you. So please give us a call at 250-898-2563 and speak with Mr. Chaz Leckie about what it is you would like to learn to do in the television industry. So thanks so much for watching. Have a great couple of days and we'll see you soon.